Oh, hey everybody. So I had done a video earlier on sandalwood and geranium. However, there were some messages coming through this morning, and it was around that feeling of great love. And I felt like I hadn't really finished the other video in regards to sandalwood feeling like great love and helping with that. More so helping with his essence and his feeling is, for me, resonates with another time and another place in regards to having felt that great love before. However, I also wanted to bring in that it is important. He would be helpful for those who are trying to connect with acknowledging, recognizing, and finding that great love within themselves. Because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, we do need to know that we already are a great love. We already are a true love. And we already are everything that we are looking for or searching for. And yes, we are human. We're having human experiences. We have human wants. We have human traits. We have, there's things that we long for and that we crave and want and so on. However, first and foremost, and I talk from experience, is really digging deep and finding it within yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot recognize it within yourself, it is going to be hard to recognize it in another. And not just someone in regards to a true love, even in regards to recognizing, if you know the beauty within yourself, you know that you already are beautiful inside and out. And I think I need to shut this door. I'll pull it over a bit. Then it would be hard to recognize that within another soul. So for me, when I see people, like, I'm very sensitive and I feel very deeply. And so for me, there's some people I see and I can't help but think, man, life has really, you've been through a lot. You look worn down. Life has been hard for you. But I can recognize that they have chosen that. They've chosen that journey. They've chosen those experiences. So I recognize the beauty in that has been their path that they've chosen. So if you can get to a point where you can feel that and you can recognize it, so that when you are meeting people, interacting, observing, recognize them from a soul, from your soul to their soul, and recognize and acknowledge, and even, you don't have to say it out loud, but acknowledging that they are on their journey. They have chosen whatever it is. Could be one hell of a journey, let's be honest. There's people out there that have been through horrific things. And when I see that and hear about it, I'm like, far out, man. That soul has chosen a heck of a path. And, and it's like you're commending them for having chosen that and having walked that journey, because some journeys are way tougher than anyone else's or than our own. Going back to the great love, it's really remembering that you first and foremost are that great love. And when you feel that and you know that, and that you are enough, and that you are everything that you're looking for, everything that you want, then you will know that when it does show up for you, And another thing that I was thinking about was some of the things that we've heard in the past, and even as children, and whatever, sayings, right? Sayings. So when you hear, like, I know that when we were young, and we didn't hear this, I don't recall it, my mum saying it, but it was something that we used to hear was like, oh, if you love yourself, oh, you must be so vain. You're so vain if you love yourself. But really, yes, you should be loving yourself. There's nothing vain about it. That's exactly how we should be. That's exactly the way that it is meant to be, is to love yourself first and foremost. And the other saying that I was thinking about this morning was, what was it? Oh, they must think they're like gifts. What is it? God's gift to women, or God's gift to men, or whatever. Well, then, yeah, exactly. If you have that thought and you see someone and that's the impression you get, really, instead of judging them, you should be acknowledging that and going, yeah, way to go. Because at the end of the day, we're all God's gift. And whatever way you portray that, like, we are God's gift. Every soul on this planet is God's gift. We're all godly. We're all divine. And whether or not you see someone, if you see someone and you think, and that's your thought, and that's how they present themselves to you, it's your perception. And if you have that thought, then really it's saying that you don't think enough of yourself, that you're not acknowledging or recognizing the God within you. So when you see somebody and that's the impression you get, really, you should be high-fiving, because whether they recognize it or not within themselves, they are God's gift. You are God's gift. We're all God's gift. Every one of us is. And there is nothing vain about that. And I'm getting goosebumps on my crown. There is nothing vain about that. That's who we all are. So instead of tearing down somebody else and saying, who do you think you are? Look at that one. Just don't. Like, honestly, acknowledge and recognize and think, beautiful soul. Beautiful soul. Whether that person believes that, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all God's gift. Each and every one of us. So don't tear another person down, and know that you, me, we're all God's gifts. And so really it's about recognizing it and feeling it and knowing it and remembering it. We're in a time where more of us are remembering and acknowledging, and it's time for us to pass on that knowledge, to pass on what we feel and what we know onto our children, grandchildren. Enough of this walking through blimmin' being, suppressed or blimmin' blinded or being told stuff and lies that we're only little, because we're not. So recognize it and be proud of who you are. When you know that you are divine, when you know that you are more than just this little person on the planet, then it's the most, most empowering. It's empowering. That's what it is. It's beautiful. It's pure and it's empowering, because you're remembering who you are. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to go off from the sandalwood and the great love feeling that I get with sandalwood. But hopefully, anyway, that's what it is. And have a good night wherever you are. A good day. Thank you.